Wow, I think Fitz is the only person to reference the 2004 Pistons other than myself. Wow.
Yeah, I was about to say, hold on.
Thank you, Evan. That brightened my evening.
Well, I don't tie it
I'm
in.
just going to go out and say it. Joey Chestnut has to be on the pub.
Has
Not
to be.
pub more. I mean,
Has to be.
Dramatic, man. That was a journey.
Fitzmagic in September is like one of the hottest athletes in the world.
So you want to talk about putting a team on your back? Luka is Larry Bird reincarnated. This man might get it done.
And so there's a joke that that Jimmy Garoppolo was going to get traded to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Tom Brady was like, nah, you're going to go with that motherfucker? Like, I'm coming back.
10 seconds.
What is going on? Welcome to episode 113 of Pub Sports Talk. And it's only fitting with episode 113 to have Agent 13 back in the pub, baby. Kato knows. Kaiden Smith. Welcome back, brother.
Woo! Happy to be here. Always a great time at the pub. Happy to be here.
Hell yeah. And you're repping the shirt. Love to see it. Got the stash growing out. We were talking before air, man. You just look at that, baby.
nice.
Look at it. Amazing. It's a good day.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to be here.
Hey, anytime we want you here. We got Tim and Fitz with us. Devin's at football practice. They're doing night practices. Matt was pissed right up from the office, I guess. And hey, we're doing it, man. Kato, man, last time we talked to you, it was entering, it's right after bowl season, I believe, or right before. I can't remember which one. How's life been since the season wrapped up and your collegiate career wrapped up? How's everything been?
It's been good, man. It's definitely been a journey. It's been a wild year. I've been playing football since I was 9, so not playing ball, it's definitely, you tell yourself, I've been priding myself always about being more than an athlete, and that's why I've been trying to pursue sports journalism as much as I can throughout your career. But once it's actually taken from you, then it's like, oh, okay, I actually have to do it now. I actually have to live by being more than an athlete. So it's been great. There's definitely its pros and cons, and have some guys in the league right now who are in training camp. Talking to them has been super sweet, but life's been good. I'm working for On3, college sports website, talking about college ball all day, and what's better than writing and talking about ball? I mean, it's a dream job of mine. It's been something I've been gunning for a while, and I work with a super great team that's definitely rising when it comes to talking about college ball. So I can't complain.
Dude, absolutely. And I think that's a perfect fit for you because even when you were playing, you were producing some amazing articles for the Appalachian and just your really great pieces you're putting together. And now you're going to do something that you play college ball and play it to one of the highest levels that people could ever dream of. And so for you to get that job with On3, we're pumped for you, and we can't wait to read your articles and stuff because, we're Cato's #1 fan here, so that's dope.
Appreciate it, guys.
Hey, we talked about it. You got some boys from this year's team in training camp. You talked to them. How they feeling? We feeling good?
Yeah,
we're going to
man.
put the jersey and helmets behind us here?
Yeah, man, there's been some good stuff for sure. I think the hard thing, obviously, you know how it goes. A lot of guys, of course, from App went undrafted, and there's some people who are put in that situation where you ball out as best as you can. You might get limited amount of reps, but you do your best and you can. It doesn't work out. But then other times you're in an ideal situation and it works out great for you. And I think a lot of our guys really landed in an ideal situation. You think about guys like Meach, seeing videos of him on Twitter just wrecking stuff for the Lions. If you just a tough guy, like a tough, gritty guy in Detroit, perfect fit. Same with Jalen Virgil. He's my boy Verge. He's in Denver right now. New quarterback Russell Wilson, loves to throw that deep ball. And Jalen can go out and get it and also contributes on special teams too. That's just a fun team and a speedy roster that I think he's a good fit on too. And then you just have a load of guys. You have Thomas, you have DeMarco. I'm not going to get into everybody, but we have a great group, and I feel like everybody got a great fit. So I think that's the biggest and most important thing. And once they get in between those white lines, I know how those guys are going to act. So it's definitely super excited to see them in the preseason, especially this year too.
Dude, hell yeah. And I can't wait. I think you hit the nail on the head. Like Meach is that he'll bite a kneecap to get a sack if he needs to. And it fits right in with the Lions and Dan Campbell's mentality. And, I call T. Henney the white Randy Moss of Boone. It's just so fitting. He's up in biking country there. So it's pretty dope. But yeah, dude, this is awesome. I'm glad those guys are doing well. We see highlights on Instagram and stuff. And we're like, oh shit. All right. Bird's going to go grab a ball from Russell Wilson. Like, let's go, dude. That's what we're doing. Bronco Nation, let's ride. Let's go do this.
Yeah, they have loads of stories, man. If they might want to have some of them on here because them just being in those locker rooms and talking to those guys. You have Jalen telling me stories about how Russell Wilson just like he's the man. Like he leads meetings. Like he'll have a meeting with the offensive guys. Like he'll quiz guys like on what they know. Like they're really running his system over there. And same with Thomas, just out there with a guy like Adam Thielen, who a lot of people don't know was on the practice squad at one point. And then eventually made it to a point where he was one of the top 5 receivers in the league. And then, of course, he had to take a back seat to Justin Jefferson because he's playing so well. But he's literally been in every aspect of an NFL receiver journey. So having a guy like that is obviously great for him as well. So they all have a ton of stories. They say the parking lots look like a car show all the time. It's just nuts being at that level, obviously. And they're definitely all super appreciative of it. And it's cool to hear about.
Dude, absolutely, man. And yeah, we're going to have to definitely for sure get them on. Probably after training camp, let them relax a little bit and breathe because training camp's grueling.
Oh, yeah, they're going through it. They're going through it right now. I wouldn't recommend having them on right now.
Hey, I don't blame you. Well, Kato, last time, since you've been on last time, we kind of changed up. We like to do a little introduction sports random fact here. Just kind of a little icebreaker. You know, that's a little teacher and coach in me, a little icebreaker here. This one, we're going to the octagon. We're going to the fighting world. Anybody want to take a guess what the quickest fight for the UFC is?
Ronda Rousey. Didn't she do it in like a few seconds? Like 10, 30 seconds?
30 seconds? Okay. Yeah.
I think wasn't there that I don't know if it was Masvidal, but someone gave somebody a knee and it was like 5 seconds. Like he literally just ran up to him, kneed him in the head, and that was it. I'm pretty sure it was Masvidal. Let's go.
Kato! Let's go, dude.
All right. Wow.
You hit the nail on that. 5 seconds. You're absolutely right. Tap gloves, Masvidal flying knee right when Ben Askren, huge Olympic wrestler, division champ, Division 1 champ, goes in for a takedown, catches the knee right in the chin, knockout cold. Yeah. UFC.
I dabble in the UFC a little bit. I caught the Nunez pay-per-view a week or two ago. She looked serious. She put on a clinic.
She's on a hunt for blood. Like
no, yeah. She that was the most polished pay-per-view of the year. I'm an Israel guy, but his fights are just like unwatchable now because he's just gonna pick people apart and it's boring. But the Nunez fight was a good watch.
I agree with you. Well, 100%. Nunez is the real deal. But rewinding back, Askren, Masvidal, this fight had so much hype. Ben Askren was trying to get in the UFC. He had gone over to other promotions, won their belt, and he was like, Dana, put me in the UFC. Put me in. And Dana was like, nah, like you're really not fitting our grid. Masvidal is like, yo, this kid's a punk. Ben Askren's like, I just started fighting a month ago and I whooped his ass. Like, this guy's not good. And so they're chirping at each other. They go to each other's events, each other's press conferences. A lot of hype. This was a 3-year fight in the making, last 5 seconds. So a lot of hype for no payout here. So this leads to the question, what's a sporting event that had a lot of hype for you guys, or maybe just a life event? It just didn't turn out the way you thought it would or should.
Broncos Seahawks Super Bowl.
Oh,
that's my number one.
Yeah,
that had so much hype. The best offense versus the best defense, and it was just over within like 10 minutes.
Dude, you were so ready for that. Like
I was ready. I saw where you were going with it, and I was thinking, I was brewing. I was like, I got it.
Yeah, you were ready for that. All right, I like it.
Man,
I know it's a little tricky.
I can think of one. I hate to say this, but as a Giants fan, we finally got a top 4 pick. And it's the best. People are calling this the best defensive draft class in the past like 10, 15 years. So excited. And then the Giants select Daniel Jones. That was a tough one. I gave him a chance. Obviously, it's been a lot of ups and downs, a lot more downs than ups, but it didn't age well, and it didn't age well then. That was one of the bigger letdowns the last couple of years for me.
Yeah, that's tough. You like my one, so you can hold on to it. I'll boost your spirits back up, Kato.
I'm going to go this one totally personal. There's no one would even care about this. We're going to my childhood, right? Monster trucks. I was supposed to see Gravedigger. We were at the Palace of Auburn Hills. Oh my gosh, rest in peace. And the whole time my dad's like, hey, Gravedigger's going to come out. He's going to be the last one. It's going to be awesome. And he just wasn't there. Gravedigger just never came out. It was I don't even remember. It was like the mutt one, the one that looks like a dog. And I was like, I was like, no, where's Gravedigger? That's like my all-time like low sports moment. I was so disappointed.
I could see
And I'm a
Tim
Lions
just
fan, so that tells you all you need to know.
I could see like just 5-year-old Tim just throwing down his icy, like, this is bullshit, Dad. Let's get out of here.
First grade time.
For me, it was the undefeated Patriots. Like, this is like they're gonna run. I'm gonna see an undefeated season. Like, I'm one of the this generation is so special. Nope, Cato, you're Giants and not so fast. Let me Eli Manning this thing, and they ended it for him. So
no,
that was my
watching Super Bowls has been fun in this life of mine. I will say those have been the highs.
Hey, absolutely. How many of those Super Bowls did you go into? Like, I don't know if we got a chance here. Like, I'm gonna root for him, but I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't believe it the first round of the playoffs, and it's like, oh, okay, did we just beat Aaron Rodgers and Lambeau, and then it's like, oh, okay, did we just beat San Francisco like in Candlestick, and then it's like, okay, I think we actually might have a chance, and then it always just works out. After the first time, it was what it was, but then when you run it back and you kind of just expect it at a certain point, it definitely spoiled as far as the peaks of being a Giants fan go, but the lows are very much low, but I wouldn't trade it.
Hey, absolutely. Hey, at least you have the peaks. Like, me and Tim are still trying to get to those peaks as Bengals and Lions fans. I almost got there, but not quite.
You were close. You were close, man.
This year, Joey Shiesty. We'll get it. Other news that broke out yesterday. I don't know if you guys follow a lot of tennis, but the GOAT of tennis, Serena Williams, who's won the most titles in men's or women's, period, 4 gold Olympic medals. She has plans to retire. After 27 professional years, which is pretty awesome. It's special to see her and her sister play. But she's officially going to hang up the tennis racket here. Any thoughts about Serena finally retiring and kind of getting her sunset?
Had she never retired before?
I don't think so. I know she had some injuries.
Yeah, I think she had an issue with pregnancy and coming back from pregnancy, I think, but then she kind of bounced back and
she never retired.
Yeah, it's crazy because we think about like Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, and like all these like Joey Chestnut, all these goats for their sports, right? I don't know. I just feel like her name doesn't get brought up enough. I feel like now that she's retired, it might give her a little more. I don't know. Might be some more headlines about her, but like, gosh, you said it, Parker. Like, men's, women's doesn't matter. She's the most. It's crazy.
No, she's definitely in the conversation of most dominant athlete, like in their sport.
I like that.
Like where Serena is and the rest, it's not even close. And like you could compare that to like Michael Phelps. Is like, Michael Phelps. No one is ever gonna touch that. I guess you could. I mean, you can make the thing is with Jordan, LeBron's right there. I mean, there's people that are gonna get close to that. Like 6 championships is awesome.
Yeah,
but I mean, Bill Russell had 11. I mean, I don't know. It's like there's more. It's easier to like debate, but like Serena and the next person, it's just insane what she did in her career.
No, Serena's definitely an icon. Like on the court, off the court, like just all the little things. The cat suit, just her speaking out on certain issues, the dominance and the winning. Obviously, King Richard was a dope movie.
So good.
I think that was really important in telling her story and her come up because a lot of people didn't know that Venus was really the one put on early, and then Serena came on late. She wasn't even a focal point of the movie because that's how it was growing up, and she eventually came into her own. So she had to play behind her sister almost a little bit and get up to that level. And I think that really pushed her for sure. And tennis is the sport I'm claiming right now, the individual sport. I'm trying to pick up some sports that I don't have to cover for a living, so I can just watch them casually. I had Wimbledon fever. I was super invested in Wimbledon this year, and unfortunately, she got bounced. I caught a couple of the women's matches. I saw a Simona Halep match, but Kyrgios and Joker, and I'm a big Nadal guy. I think the tennis stock is slowly, I think, going to go up because we're kind of seeing it the same with F1. F1 had this show on Netflix where they kind of peel back the curtain and let you see the personalities of some of these individual sport athletes because it's kind of harder to follow those individual sports unless you're really into it because you don't know about what's really happening outside of the sport. But I think they're trying to do that with tennis and golf, and they're trying to peel back that curtain a little bit. So I think tennis will get a lot more wildly popular in the next couple of years, along with golf. The more we're learning about the individual athlete side of it, it's unfortunate that we didn't get to fully see that with Serena, but I think her name's still just cemented as far as legacy goes as one of the best athletes of all time.
Dude, absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head. And I think we're going to see more and more things about her come out, like documentaries and like King Richard was amazing. I just think we're going to see more and more. And hopefully a Netflix series about tennis comes out or something, and you kind of get to see these personalities, because it's not a sport that's shoved down our throat here in America, unlike baseball or football. Soccer's not even shoved down our throat. So we don't know enough about these sports. And so I think she gets slept on a lot. But to me, it's amazing. She was in the spotlight since she was 14, I think, until now. And like, how many young people do you see have just the successful career of a lifetime? Like it's Tiger Woods, but then he had controversy kind of later in the middle of the part of his career. Like Serena, no controversy, kept her head down and just kept winning, kept dominating. Like it's pretty special to look back at her, just her run of dominance.
Yeah, obviously her and Tiger doing what they're doing in that sport from their background and their race, it's definitely inspiring for the younger generations moving forward to just taking that spotlight and being an influence for young Black girls, and for Tiger, any young African Americans who are trying to golf. It's definitely inspiring to see them do that. So that forever puts them in the Hall of Fame for me, for sure, as far as them top tier athletes.
Dude, yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. Any of your thoughts about Serena calling it quits? Hey, well deserved for her. I want to see our kids out there next, the next generation of Williams, just domination. Let's talk about a sport that we don't give a lot of love to, much like tennis here, baseball. It's August, so we got 2 more months for the hunt. October. Things are heating up. Playoffs are starting to shake out a little bit. Kato, you're a New York Giants fan. You follow Yankees or Mets or just some random team out there?
Yeah, I'm a Yankees guy. I haven't been. I'm a casual Yankees fan. So I've been to a couple games. I like them. I support them. I remember them in the heyday with Jeter, and my favorite teams were when they had Jeter, Rivera, A-Rod, Nick Swisher, Granderson. Who else did we have? We had Cano. Like that was just the prime for me. And then I feel like people, especially when they're watching this Jeter documentary, that was really like the heyday of where all eyes were on baseball. So I haven't really been tapped in as much. But I know the Yankees are doing well. I know we're on top of the division. But I know how it gets in the playoffs. I usually cover I start watching the Yankees when it comes playoff time, and past couple of years has been pretty disappointing. And I like that we're doing good in the regular season, obviously, but we need to get over those Astros in the postseason for me to respect that. I love what Judge is doing right now. Would like more out of Garrett Cole, especially when we get closer to the postseason, because we really need him to shove in the postseason if we want to be good. But
yeah,
I'm up on the Yankees. Obviously, I like what I'm seeing out of them, but for them, they just got to show me. Like they haven't shown me in the playoffs in the last couple of years, and they're just gonna have to show me.
I think you're preaching to the choir of really anybody who even remotely follows baseball. Like we know that the Yankees bankroll is just the fattest, and they have arguably the best talent going by roster here. And it just postseason, it just something doesn't click. I don't know if it's beating on the trash cans down in Houston or what it is. It's just they can't get over that hump. But let's talk about some standings, and we'll get to your Yankees here in a second. We're going to start with NL West. Dodgers, Padres leading that division. Padres just got Juan Soto, home run derby champ. Any surprise here? Do we think the Dodgers are just that damn good? I mean, there's 16 games up on the Padres, that's a team we said they might win a World Series early on. They kind of fell off. They heated back up, and now they're coasting right here. Any thoughts about the NL West?
I know early on the Dodgers, they've just been dominant at home. And I'm curious what they're on the side there. It just blurs out. It says their home record. I see 38 wins there.
I think 38-16. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I just think at home the Dodgers have been, at least they were at the beginning of the year, and I'd assume they still are. So that's going to be the real question, like in October, is if the Dodgers can lock just more home series, that's definitely going to be an advantage for them.
Yeah,
but again, I don't know. That division's not a super strong division there either.
No, it's not. Minus the Padres, but Kato, Tim, any thoughts here? It's okay if you guys don't. We don't follow a lot of baseball, and so we understand if you guys. September is when I start getting into it more.
I will say I love the Soto trade, and I love that like I love that the West Coast is becoming like the hub for baseball right now.
Dude,
just
yeah.
like a series between the Padres and the Dodgers right now, like that's going to sell out, and that's gonna have a lot of buzz around it. And LA, I think LA is just back between them, the Rams, the Chargers. I just love that the West Coast is becoming a sports town. I definitely want to get out there whenever all the seasons overlap and watch every sporting event I can over there, because it's definitely on the come up. I think baseball is coming back, and it's starting in the West Coast for sure.
I think you're absolutely right. I haven't thought about that, but yeah, like it's wild to think West Coast is where all the baseball is going, and we're used to being in the Northeast, and now it's like, oh, hold the phone. It's going to the West Coast, and to me, a place like LA to be able to win, and each like the Rams winning, the Dodgers keep on winning, the Lakers being able to bring home the bubble championship and maybe not get success this past season, but things haven't clicked for them. For you to win in LA where there's so much things going on, to be able to be dominant there is really impressive, and to be able to sell out crowds like they've been doing is super impressive, especially at baseball stadiums. So the Dodgers are doing it right.
Yeah, I got no skin in the game, man.
That's okay.
I got nothing for you.
NL Central, I just got to brag about my Reds. We're no longer in last place. We're half a game up on Pittsburgh, baby. Let's go. I'm pumped. That's a win for me. Cardinals and Brewers lead it. That's a close division. 2 games back the Brewers are, but I'm not in last place, so I'll take it. That's a win for me. Any thoughts for you guys there?
I mean, Cardinals and Brewers, the loser of those two could be a wild card, and that's so that's big. That one of you in a play-in game or play-in series. I can't remember how many teams they're up to now, but they've been back and forth. I mean, they've just been going back and forth, so that's been interesting. And I think they play each other in a series coming up. I think like a 5-game series between them. So I think that's going to be big.
Yo, that's going to be big, and it's going to have huge implications about playoffs coming up because you're only 2 games back. If you can get up 3-2 in that series, you've swung it your way or you've taken a commanding lead. So, all right, moving on to the last NL division, NL East. The Mets are leading it over the Braves, who are up down 7 games, followed by Phillies, Marlins, and Nationals. Nationals, that's a team I thought would do a lot better than what they've done. I don't know if injuries have gotten in the way or what it is, but any thoughts about the NL East?
Well, Mets and Braves just played 5 games. The Mets won 4 of them. So I know Braves fans were kind of disappointed. They thought, they were pretty close to the Mets coming into that game or into that series. And the Mets, now they're up 7 games. They look
had
like
it
they're
within
in
3.
control. Yeah. The Mets look like they're in control. But Braves again, they're playing good ball. Maybe they can have a little revenge tour later on, but it's the Mets in control right now for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you guys saw this video, but I haven't seen a relief pitcher come out with so much hype and just energy into a baseball stadium since Antonio Chapman with the missile launch soundtrack going on because they call him the Cuban Missile Crisis. And then obviously Enter the Sandman for the Yankees. I mean, like, amazing stuff. This might be the next best one. Edwin Diaz for the Mets. Just the crowd into it.
Oh, you got the mascots. That's good.
Like, you're getting everybody up and dancing. The whole crowd's going wild. It's an amazing thing. The song's called Narcos, and I had to go and download that in my Spotify playlist right away because I was like, yo, I'm getting hyped for this. Like, let's go.
That's
pretty
awesome.
Electric. Yeah.
I can speak on this division. I've probably, being in Atlanta, I've been to more Braves games than any games as far as baseball goes.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, the new stadium at Truist Park, if you haven't been and you're in the Southeast and you just like baseball, I would highly recommend it. It's just so new and everything's put together well. They'll put together a whole itinerary for you as far as what to do before, after. Get into that another time. But I like watching the Braves. Braves are electric for sure. And I feel the same way about the Mets as I do with the Yankees. They're going to have to show me. Like, the Mets are killing it, obviously, in the regular season. But the Mets have to show me in the playoffs. Like, they haven't shown me in a very long time. So It could be the hater of me just hating on the Mets because I'm a Yankees fan, but the Mets are also just gonna have to show me. And if you're talking about pitcher intros, I remember when I was a kid, we go to the Braves game. Craig Kimbrell, that was his name. That was their closer a couple years ago. It was the first time I went to a game when he was closing, and the way they did the stadium was like all the screens went black. Like it seemed like the power went out. It was like, and it was like, oh, what's going on? And then I forgot what his walk up was, but it was just some hard metal. And then they had like flames on all the monitors, and he came out there. It was super tough. It was an elite intro. I think if social media was taken off a little bit more, then it would have had some traction. But shout out to the guy, and shout out to my guy Brandon Marsh, just got traded to the Phillies from the Angels. Georgia product.
Okay. Hey, I like it. Going all black in the flames. Like, all right, I'm about to just look that on YouTube now.
It was sick.
I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, I think you're right. The Mets. I think even a Mets fan was like, let's hold the phone. Like, we're not ready to dive all in yet on the Mets. And me and Fitz are like, yo, if they win, we're all for it. I might buy a Mets jersey. Like, the Reds ain't doing shit for me right now, so I might as well jump bandwagons for a while. I don't know, but wild.
Now, one of the few games I watched this year was a couple from the Subway Series, and that was tough. So that's probably where that hatred's coming from.
Hey, absolutely, fair enough. We'll definitely have to talk about Braves and what to do in Atlanta here, because I think we need to take a road trip, boys. Get out there, see some ballparks, and I heard the Chop House is just electric down there.
So. Oh yeah, man! You go to the Chop House, you go to PBR. They got like a mechanical bull you can get on if you're feeling crazy. Like it's great restaurants out there. It's a good vibe.
Hey, I'm here for it. Hell yeah. Let's move on to the American League West. The Stros, Tim, your Astros, man, up 11.5 games on Seattle. This division, to me, wild because Angels sitting second the last 23 games back. That's a team that had a lot of hype. I mean, you think about some of their players, their stars they have. Man, I feel like they should be doing better, but it's also kind of a one-man team in a way too. So, what's your all thoughts here?
No, you nailed it. I was at the beach with my little cousin. He's probably 9 years old. We're sitting watching the All-Star game, and he's like, it's crazy. They got Trout and Ohtani, and they're terrible. And I was like, dude, speaking everyone's mind, dude. Like that's what it is. Yeah, I don't know how much you can help with the Angels there.
Yeah.
I mean, my Astros, they're always pushing the game, the boundaries of the game. They're finding new ways to win. That's what you got to have in an organization. I love it. They have my support. I'm pushing for them. I mean, look at this. You have Verlander just shutting people out. Like, come on. Astros are taking it.
Actually, what was interesting is the Mariners, they were on a win streak before the All-Star game. They won, I think it was 14 games in a row, and then the All-Star break, and then they kind of dropped some. They won a couple against the Yanks here. They're playing the Yankees, and I saw they won a couple against the Yankees. They're playing again. Yeah, they'd be doing that. So I don't know. I think the Mariners. I think they're fighting for a wild card, but if they can get streaky again, they might be able to sneak in there. So don't sleep on the Mariners. And they got one of the best young players. Can't remember, center fielder. He made the All-Star game. Can't remember his name, but he's one of the young rising stars of the league. I think he's the youngest player to make an All-Star. I could be wrong on that, but it's up there.
Hey, you didn't give us a name, so
golly,
you're right, man. Eventually, you'll be right.
Shout out him.
Yeah.
Shout out him. Yeah. Julio Rodriguez, fastest player to reach 15 home runs and 20 stolen bases in his career. He's not the youngest All-Star.
Yo, he's the cat that upset Pete Alonso, right? In the home run derby? Was that him?
Yeah, that's that guy.
Okay.
Yeah. A-Rod.
Yeah.
No, the same way I was saying before, how I didn't believe in the Yankees or the Mets in the postseason, I believe in the Astros. Like, I don't know if they're going to do it fairly or not, but like they're going to produce. And I think it's gotten to the point where like when they get to the postseason, it's almost more surprising when they lose when they win. So like obviously they're killing it, and obviously like we'll see how far they're going to make it this year. But no, Actually, one of the last Braves game I was trying to go to, me and my friends, casual Braves ticket. You can get like a $15 general admission one. Just walk in whenever, check a couple innings out. It's super casual. Forgot the Angels were in town. Go on Ticketmaster, sold out for Shohei. So I was like, for me, that was huge. For like, shout out baseball fans. People think there's not a lot of baseball fans, but they know that like this is a generational talent, and like when he's in your city, like we have to go see him.
Yeah,
so I was not about to pay for however much they were charging for the standing room only seats. It was way too much. But I was still in the area. Still in the area. It was a good vibe. I caught some of the games on the TV screens out there. So I'm definitely team free Shohei. And it's funny because he's on the West Coast too, and we were talking about before how all the baseball talent's out west. So he's in the right place geographically as far as where it's popping right now. But his team is just so bad. So free Shohei.
Hey, free Shohei. Hey, let's get it started. Let's go.
Oh man,
I think you hit the nail on the head. All right. AL Central, Minnesota Twins leading this division. Guardians, 1 game back, though. We changed the name. We're still here for the hunt, baby. And then the White Sox, 2 games back. They just shut down one of their aces, though, for the rest of the season. So we'll see how that goes. Any thoughts here?
it's just classic Twins, and they're gonna blow this. They've been leading the AL Central all year, and they're just gonna get passed right at the end, and then they're not even gonna make the wild card. It's gonna be a hot mess.
You love Minnesota sports, don't you?
Dude, I love the Twins. That's the one team I got into when I lived there.
Yeah.
And just because I went to a bar, there was a bar. They always had the Twins game on, and I just pop in. It was like the perfect pregame spot. You watch a little baseball, but all those Minnesotans, they'd be talking me about they got me into it. I was like, come on, like I had the Twin fever.
Yeah.
I think they played the Yankees in the play-in game, and Aaron Judge became the most intimidating player that I've ever seen. I was terrified of Aaron Judge. It's just like this guy's insane. But yeah, the Twins, that's also what I learned from these guys at the bar is you don't get your hopes up with Minnesota sports.
I like it. Go for it. Tim, your Tigers are down there at the bottom. Maybe your former Tigers. You're full Astros now.
You know, Detroit itself had a pretty bad stretch, and you know, between how the Pistons are looking, I like what we're doing with the Pistons. The Lions, I mean, I'm drinking all the Kool-Aid I can get. Tigers, not so much. Tigers, they're not doing too hot. I mean, I don't follow them very often, but they can stay on the bottom for all I care.
You got Houston now. That's all you need.
Yeah, I'm a Houston boy. Let's go.
You and Paul Wall chopping it up. Let's go.
That's right.
I have no takes on this division other than I'm actually way more up on the Guardians name than a lot of people are. Gives me Guardians of the Galaxy vibes. Gives me like protective vibes. I'm with it. If I need a bandwagon team, I might just go with the Guardians. Just feel safe, guarded.
I like it. I feel I got Batman feels from them, and the G with the wings. Like their logo is slept on. I like their logo.
I'm with it.
Yeah, I just don't like Cleveland sports. So, but,
yeah,
it is what it is. AL East here. Your Yanks up 10.5 games on the Blue Jays. A lot of people said, "Hey, the Blue Jays might get a run for the money." Yankees doing what they're doing. We'll see what happens in October. But right now, they're handling the business. Shout out to Baltimore. The O's, baby. Devin Slate's team. They're creeped out the basement, and they keep chipping away at that lead. 13.5 games down. Any thoughts here?
Man,
obviously, I mentioned before. You got it.
I was just going to say all 5 of those teams are probably better than the last division you just showed. like the Red Sox might be better than the Twins and the Guardians.
So, like I said before, obviously happy to see the Yankees up there. They're going to have to show me, but if they don't show me, I'll feel very warm inside seeing the Boston Red Sox at the bottom. You can't win them all. You just pray on the enemy's downfall. So we love to see that.
That's right.
Socks on the bottom of your feet. That's where they go. It's where they belong. Love it. Here for it.
I like that.
Again, I got no skin in the game, so I'm sorry, guys.
Perfect.
All I've got is the Yankees. They've lost a couple here. They lost to the Mets. They lost a couple to the Mariners. I don't know. I think of when you look at the teams that are at the top: Astros, Dodgers, Mets, Yankees. The Yankees are showing. I think they're a little slow in the step. Like I think they're just a little bit. Maybe there's a little bit. I don't know. They've also got a tough division, so.
I feel that, and I definitely hope. I think one of the most slept on things when you get into the playoffs in any sport is that hot team coming in. So you just gotta, if you're a Yankees fan like me, you gotta cross his fingers, hope we get some momentum right before the postseason, make a little push, because I think sometimes that's way more important than all your regular season body of work. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And I think it's across any sport. The team that's coming in hot in the playoffs is the most dangerous team. Like no matter shit, if you're undefeated, you go on a run, you can make anything happen. So I'm with you, Kato. All right, we're gonna flip gears. We're going to college football. Big news broke today. I don't know if you guys saw it, but there's some huge money to be made with TV deals. The Big Ten getting $350 million a year from CBS to televise their games. So we will see CBS broadcasting Big Ten games instead of the SEC games. Remember, ESPN bought for $30 million the SEC package. So wild amount of money being thrown here. I think the Big Ten's got a package deal that's going to give them $1.5 billion by the end of the season with Fox Sports, CBS, and I can't remember the other one. But huge money for the Big Ten.
Who'd the Big Ten just add? Which teams?
USC, UCLA. I think that's it. I could be wrong. Okay.
2024.
Yeah.
So they're trying to compete with the SEC.
Yeah. And it's
just
wild.
further proof they're trying to get in there.
Yo, anytime someone brings up NIL deals being crap for players, look at this. Just look at it.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Like that's how I was gonna start my take on this. Because like people who aren't trying to pay the athletes, bro, like this is all I gotta see. This is all the only info I need. Like $350 million a year. And we got people walking onto the team. Like let's be a little bit reasonable.
Right.
But I will say I obviously as a former athlete I support NIL for sure. Like I think a lot of the narrative about NIL talks way more about the top 1% of these athletes that are having these huge deals. And they're not talking about the dudes who go to App State or Southern Miss or Old Dominion, like who are just normal people who can make a couple bucks in their college community and using their social media platform, whatever they do. That's not being talked about enough. But I will say, this is like my old man, like college football rant. The money is getting big and the media rights, it is what it is. But I definitely don't love how it's starting to control the conference realignment, because I'm not gonna feel bad about wanting my college sports regional. Like I like USC and UCLA on the West Coast. Like I like the rivalry games. Like I like that aspect of it. But the money is definitely talking a lot, and I think the money combined with the NIL combined with the conference realignment, kind of heading in that direction to where if the SEC and the Big Ten are the leagues that are really properly the only ones that you're gunning for, and that becomes the new Power 5. It turns into the Power 2. You start blocking these other teams out. I think it doesn't leave a lot of room for those upsets you like to watch, and it obviously changes things in the playoff, and I know they're trying to expand that too. But I think there's a lot of moving and shaking right now as far as college football goes between the transfer portal and the realignment and the media deals and the NIL. I think depending on how these next couple of years go and depending on how they move it, I think the landscape could change a ton or kind of stay the same. So we'll see. Hopefully there's a couple more purists of the game when it comes to college sports at the top of it making these decisions that want to keep the integrity of the conferences and stuff. But we'll see. At the end of the day, week 1, I'm going to be tuned in regardless. So can only complain so much.
Dude, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. Like for me, like, man, I just can't imagine being from California in the wintertime, November, December, it's 70 degrees. You're chilling on the beach. Now you got to go to Indiana in November when it's 10 degrees and it's just that dry coldness. And your kickoff time's 8:30, your usual time of waking up there. Like, that's not fair. That's not cool. You're not going to see the best talent out there for the West Coast teams going to East Coast. And yeah, sure, the East Coast teams, they have to go to the West Coast, but it's kind of a vacation for them, right? Like, hey, shit, we get out of the blizzard to go chill on the beach for a week. All right, cool. Let's go do it. Because you know they're going to take a whole week there because that travel plan, you have to get their schedule, you have to get their routine based in there. Like, yeah, this is going to be brutal. And Kato, I'm with you. Like, I wish geographically they'd keep conferences the way they are, but I think corporate money is just too big for them.
And obviously, a lot of this stuff is a double-edged sword. I mean, if you're a California product and you want to play the best ball and you don't want to leave home, the Big Ten's like you can stay at USC, UCLA, play in the Big Ten. That's pretty cool. But also, we're not talking about the softball player at UCLA or the basketball players who now have to travel in the middle of the week all the way across to a different time zone just to play some hoops or to play ball. So. And I think that goes back to it again. If you're going to put them through that, at least let them make some money on the side. You know what I mean? So obviously there's a double-edged sword to a lot of this stuff, and we could talk about it all day. But the money's there in college sports. It's picking up.
Dude, absolutely it is. It's crazy. It's a wild world.
What I don't understand is, okay, so if you win the Pac-12 now, the watered-down Pac-12, you go undefeated. Let's say you go unbeaten. Do you get an automatic bid in the playoff? Or is that not so much because if the SEC, Big Ten, and all those schools produce a champ, or let's say Pac-12 team has one loss, they have the same amount of losses as the champion from SEC, Big Ten. Are they the first one out if they're just not the power conference?
Yeah, I think they are. Like, if you got a one-loss USC team that only lost to Ohio State in the horseshoe, like, how do you not put them in when they had to travel to Ohio State and instead put Oregon State, who wins the Pac-12? Like, yeah, oh man, that's a good thought process.
Like, I just think a lot of this is just still with the playoff system, that they haven't figured out the playoff system, and it's like if they could make some rule like your record has to be above a 0.9912 or whatever qualifies as like one loss or two or whatever they decide on. And you win your conference. Like if you win your conference and you have above a 9 point whatever, you get it. And then just kind of working around like and then have at-large bids with it. And just figure out from there. I don't know. They've messed up the conferences so much.
Yeah, that's it.
They could get creative.
Well, that's why they can't fix the playoff system because of this. Like, so going back to your point, Evan, let's say you win the conference. Yeah, it's a watered down Pac-12, but you get entry. That would put more stockpiling power into the divisions itself versus you have these teams cutting bait and going to these larger divisions. I think it would be a benefit to say, yeah, if you win the Pac-12, you're in. And I think that's incentive for those teams to even stay there. They're like, shoot, we're the top dog here. We can stay here and get a shot in the dance. I think that makes more sense to me versus, like you said, there's nothing definitive. It's subjectively objective, I like to say, with freaking getting a spot at the playoffs for college football. So put more power in the division itself.
Yeah, no. The other thing that sucks is so far there really have not been any surprises in the playoff. Like I feel like this year it would have been Cincinnati. If Cincinnati would have beat who they played, Bama,
played Georgia.
If they would beat Georgia, then we'd be talking about, okay, we need to expand it. But it always works out. They have 4, and there's always argument, oh, this team should get in. But then it always works out. It's like, all right, these 4 deserve to be here. And I don't know. So that's where this is, where it's like, okay, we need to jump ship because the Pac-12 is just dog shit. we have to move. And it's just so frustrating because I think we're all thinking the same thing of like, just make each conference have more weight, just make them better that way. But I don't know. It is mind-boggling. Don't understand.
It was Alabama.
It was, thank you, Kato.
It was Alabama.
But no, 4 was always a dumb number. Like there's no what? Why is 4 for college football? Like when is Final Four is cool because it's so many teams and you break it down. And I'm not a huge advocate for expanding the playoff because some people are like, do a 16-team playoff. It's like, yo, that's
Too much.
8 more weeks of ball. Like we'll be playing ball in March if we do that.
Yeah.
So obviously, like 16 is too much. I think 6 and 8 is that sweet spot because you have to give every, like Tim was saying, you have to give every team, the Power 5 team, that shot to get that bid to get in there. And then it also leaves room for, maybe two SEC teams like you had last year. We had a UGA and an Alabama who made it. A Cincinnati team who's like a non-power, a group of 5 team who might have a shot. I think 8 and 6 is that sweet spot. And I think it definitely would help with the conference realignment stuff that's happening too. And on top of that, are we going to act like the Rose Bowl wasn't good this year? Like Utah and Ohio State got after it. That was a great game. Any of those, I would have rather seen either of those teams play Alabama. Like the number with 4 just made it to where you're throwing some Cotton Bowl team in there. I think it should be 6 to 8. And if you're going to make it 8, give the first 2 seeds a bye or something, maybe give it like the NFL playoff deal to where you're not playing super amount of games after the season. Because I mean, I'm not going to lie, when we were at App State and we're waiting to see our bowl game, we definitely want that bowl game before Christmas. Best believe it. Like we're not like, I'm not trying to sit around and practice for weeks and weeks and weeks and stretch the season out too much. Football is a very violent game. So people are saying expand the playoffs, but then it's like, okay, well, do these kids want to keep playing football into spring ball the next year? Like then we're just playing football year round. So I think there has to be balance with it. They definitely have to expand it, but not too much. I think there's a sweet spot for it that would be good for, and it would solve for a lot of the problems that are starting to arise when it comes to college ball.
Dude, I think you're absolutely right. You can't call it a Power 5 and not put all 5 in there, right?
What are we doing?
Yeah. And then have 3 at-large bids. You have 8 total. You get your 2 best records a bye. Cato, I think you solved college football playoffs.
Cato,
right
you need to work. Cato, work your way up, and you need to get inside the NCAA and be. You need to be the brains behind this.
I have a take. I haven't fully fleshed it out yet, but there's definitely also a way, and also the more games you add, you're eating away at a schedule that already has 12 games on it. But I think if you can really make it interesting, and if you have a bid for every Power 5 team, then the next year you build the non-conference schedule based off of that. So it's like, okay, you think you're the biggest, baddest in the SEC. We think we're the biggest, baddest in the Pac-12. Let's run it back next year. Who wouldn't watch that? I think there's definitely more room for, if we're going to start changing all the things about college football, let's at least change it and make it fun, get some of those matchups that we like to see. And then if you do have one loss and it's to a team that did get that bid last year, that's going to hold more weight than if you got your loss to just some bum in your conference. So
exactly,
that's me getting off my soapbox. I could definitely fix all this, but we'll talk about that another time.
And we're going to clip this, send it to him, Cato Smith for NCAA president.
Sure.
We're going to stick with college sports here real quickly. ESPN came out with this list of position U, of each university producing a certain amount of talent at a certain position. Some positions I think they got right. A lot of them, it's kind of head scratching for me. I see where they're going with it, but anybody with logic, I don't know. We'll see what you guys think. We're going to start with quarterback U.
Man, this is the toughest one.
This is tough. Yeah. So we're just gonna break it on off. They give the nod to Oklahoma. Obviously with talent like Kyler, Baker, and Jalen Hurts being recent memory here. Okay, I get it. But for me, what USC has been able to produce at quarterback, I think it tops Oklahoma. And yeah, you got Sam Darnold who's still trying to prove himself, but we look at Carson Palmer, what he did. You look at Mark Sanchez and what he did. Even Matt Leinart in Arizona, what he was able to accomplish. I think the USC resume is a little bit stronger than Oklahoma. What do you guys say, though?
Give me Oklahoma. Like, are you kidding?
Yeah? Okay.
3 Heismans, which is automatically going to give you that bid to, like, getting drafted.
But there's 3 Heismans right there for you for USC.
Sam Darnold really brings it down for me. I think you gotta.
All right, fair enough.
And I also think a huge slept on aspect of this is that Jalen Hurts would not be in the position he's in if he wasn't at Oklahoma. Like Lincoln Riley single-handedly, it's really his system because I think this QBU thing is about to be dead and he's about to take it with him. I think Lincoln might take this back, and we might see more products out of USC through his offense. And I think that's when I can give you the nod. But I think in recent memory, I'm obviously Leinart was good. I think all of the USC quarterbacks you have on this list were all better in college, and I think there's a lot more room for these NFL quarterbacks. So I think the narrative has to still be set on a lot of them. But Kyler Murray's made more money than all these guys. Jalen Hurts, if he proves it this year, Baker. I think all of these guys will be in the league combined longer than those guys, and that's why I'm taking Oklahoma.
Yeah, I like it. I like the argument.
The Mark Sanchez take you try to sneak in there like
whoa, hold on.
Let's not act like
before the butt fumble.
I was about to say
he was rolling.
His most fond memory of NFL lore will be that butt fumble.
People forget the Jets were damn good for a while though.
Yeah, Darrelle Revis was carrying them to the playoffs every year, and their defense and Rex Ryan's defense had nothing to do with Mark Sanchez. I'm definitely taking Oklahoma.
Give the man a break. Come on.
Man, QBU is the toughest one because the schools we named is like college success at quarterback doesn't always translate to the NFL. Like another team I thought of was Florida State. When you talk about like Heisman's, like Chris Weinke, did Jameis, did he win the Heisman? Or was he, I know he was in the running for it. I mean, it's like, I just don't know though. It's like, it doesn't always, like I was trying to think of like, okay, I thought of like Purdue. It's like Drew Brees. Now, college, he came in the league and backed up for a while. But, Purdue had Bob Greasy. I'm just like reaching for names. I'm trying to think like who would actually be the best school. And I think if you're talking about straight college success, it probably is Oklahoma at the moment. But if you're talking about like longevity wise, I think there could be a long list of possibilities.
NC State could be in there for longevity. You got Phillip Rivers and Russell Wilson who carry the torch.
Yeah.
And then Jacoby Brissett, depending on what he does.
Yeah.
That's when you get into quality over quantity. I'm just betting. I'm
Yeah.
betting on these three and their trajectory a lot for this. So that's why I'm giving the nod to Oklahoma.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. Tim, thoughts on it?
I'm with Cato on this one. I love the point that Cato made. I think in even 2 years, I think the two top ones are going to flip. I think Lincoln's going to take it with him. So that was a good point, Cato. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Lincoln, he's just the quarterback whisperer. Whatever he's doing, I need it. Just give me some of that Lincoln secret sauce that he's got going on right now because I need it.
You guys are wizard.
Pause. All right.
Purdue also produced Lynn Dawson.
All right, come on.
Yeah, I may actually say
no, get out of here.
Lynn Dawson was he was seen with a big old fat cigarette in his mouth during Super Bowl IV.
Oh, for Kansas City?
Yeah.
All right, I might hop on that train. Hold on.
I think Purdue might be my pick.
I think the cutoff on this article was like 98.
I think so. Yeah. All right, let's talk about wide receiver U here. LSU LSU gets the nod here. Obviously, two top wide receivers in the league today: Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, getting things started. Making an argument. I'm not arguing against LSU here, but another kind of point. Georgia, AJ Green, Hines Ward, some top wideouts for them too, and it spanned over decades instead of recent memory. What's your all's thoughts here?
I was not thinking those two. I was thinking Clemson, Bama.
Ooh,
but
yeah,
I could see LSU. I can see LSU right now.
Yo, Clemson wasn't even in the top 5, which is kind of wild to think about. Sammy Watkins,
D-Hop,
Renfro.
Yeah. I think Bama is probably mine. You got Julio, Calvin Ridley,
Amari
recent.
Cooper.
Yeah. I mean, it's an endless. Judy.
Waddle, Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
For me, that's a
think
no-brainer. I think that's a big trajectory pick too, honestly. But I do think the duo of Jefferson, Jamar Chase, their trajectory is going to definitely help them out a lot. I think one of those two guys might be a Hall of Famer. But I'm taking Alabama's trajectory more. I think they have more talent in the league right now at receiver with those names you just mentioned. And I think they already have a Hall of Famer in Julio, and I think Devontae Smith's going to be great. I think Waddle's going to be great, and I think they're also going to just keep continuing to do it. Because if I'm a high school recruit and I play receiver, I'm going to Bama. Like it's worked out for just about everybody. So why wouldn't I? They
At
got
the
Mechie
worst,
this
you'll get
year.
a ring.
Yeah, worst case scenario. So I think Mechie this year as well. I think Jamison Williams might be the best. He's my top guy from the past like 5 years as far as that product. I think if he wouldn't have got hurt, I'm banking on that one. I think he could be better than Jefferson and Chase because Jamison Williams is just a dog. He was running down on punt return as a gunner, knocking heads off. Like that dude is a dog by all accounts of him. We were talking earlier that dog fit with the Lions. I think the trajectory as far as the path we're going down and what they have in the league already with the route running of Cooper and Judy and them, I think it's a no-brainer with Alabama.
Yeah, I agree with you. And guys, I apologize. I totally goofed up here on the article. USC actually got the #1 spot here. Guys like Keyshawn Johnson, Drake London.
I'm on Ross St. Brown, my boy. Let's go.
St. Brown.
Oh my gosh.
Pittman.
Yeah.
Pittman, Steve Smith. I apologize. Yeah, USC.
That's trash.
Robert Woods, right?
Yeah, Woods. Yeah, Robert Woods.
I honestly think I like USC and Alabama both better than both of these teams here. USC,
I think you're
Juju,
right.
You have to do depth at a certain point. Obviously, it's quality over quantity, but USC has it seems like a receiver on every roster. They might not be the best receiver on the roster, but they're out here.
Yeah, I think you're right. I can't believe I totally goofed up on my end there, but that's all right. We righted the wrong. I'll edit all this out. I'll make myself sound good. Life's good. All right, tight end you. This one is just a hot topic because tight ends are getting so much love in today's games. There's even the tight end university that George Kittle puts on. ESPN gives the nod to the U, Miami. You got guys like Greg Olson, Jeremy Shockey, Bubba Franks. I know Fitz likes Bubba
Franks, baby.
Number 2. Tim, did you read the article?
I'm reading it right now.
God damn it. All right. At least Kato does his homework. All right. Number 2,
now.
Iowa, the Hawkeyes. You got guys like Dallas Clark, George Kittle, who we talked about, and your boy, Tim, TJ.
Big Cock Hawk. Let's go.
Yeah. I didn't realize Dallas Clark was a Hawkeye.
Kind of the founding father of tight ends there.
Yeah. You also got Pat Freiermuth and Noah Fant.
Noah Fant, yeah.
Guys.
To me, I think this is neck and neck. This is close. Flip a coin, and it depends on my mood because I look at all these guys' resumes in college and in the NFL. All 6 of these cats on the screen, you could make an argument, could be one of the best tight ends ever to play. TJ's still a little young and unproved. He's proven himself year by year, but give him a couple of years, I think he's in the elite category.
Was Jimmy Graham the U?
Jimmy Graham was the U, yep. And he played basketball for him, too.
So you throw him in there. See, I think the U...
I think that's the difference, yeah.
I think the U was the team of the 2000s, and I think the Hawkeyes are like this next generation. That'd be my take.
I like it.
I 100% agree with that take. Thomas Hennigan would kill me if I didn't have Iowa as tight end U. But I think that's a great way to give it to both of them. I think you definitely got to give their respect to Miami for a little bit. But that Jimmy Graham take might have put him over the edge for me. And they also have David Njoku, who's in the league right now as well, who's a super athlete. I think a lot of good tight ending, unfortunately. I don't know if there's a word, but I just made it up.
Tight ending.
a lot of that legacy is going to be based on what you do in the playoffs. And I think the Miami tight ends have like that historic. They have some playoff moments. Jeremy Shockey with the ring, Jimmy Graham and Drew Brees back in the day, even with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they have some playoff wins right there. But I think Iowa's on its way. I think Iowa needs a couple more people to catch them, and they're surely on their way right now. But I think right now I have to give the nod to the U.
Yeah, I think that's all great points. And we think about what Miami was able to do in the 90s and 2000s. I mean, the record of having an NFL starting player was absurd. It went on for years and years in the NFL. So the quality that they produced, it's hard to match. But if Iowa keeps producing, like you guys are saying, we're off to the moon, and I think Iowa overtakes them.
Man, Shockey was one of those first guys that I remember being hype in college. Like, because the tight end position, like, I feel like we started to see, like, Tony Gonzalez, and I think Antonio Gates was kind of sprinkled in there. But Shockey was, like, he was the first like college tight end that everyone was like, this guy's gonna be good. And then went to the Giants and had some success there. I think he had like a career-ending injury or something. He had something because he was on his way. But yeah, Shockey. Shout out to Shockey. He was definitely like one of the key faces for tight end U.
Yeah.
As a Giants fan, he was my first tight end, my first love. And
Yeah.
He did get banged up a lot. He get hurt. I think he like broke his arm one year. Like he would just have the most like gruesome injuries. But when he was out there, especially in Madden, whew,
Yeah.
a problem.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, Kaiden, you might be able to correct me here. I'm pretty sure when he broke his arm, they just taped that sucker up, and like he's still trying to out there catch with a club. Like, still
Bro,
impressive.
I wouldn't be surprised. Can't confirm that one, but he's definitely a certified dog.
Yeah, 100%.
He's also the only one without gloves in those pictures.
Yeah, him and Dallas Clark never wore gloves. He'd tape up the fingers.
Oh, the tape fingers. Yeah.
And we can't talk about position U. We're talking about DBU, position that you know all too well, Cato. So DBU here, they're giving the nod to Ohio State with recent guys like Von Bell, Eli Apple. Yes, they're two Bengals. Yes, I did that on purpose. To me, I think the nod has to go to LSU, though. You got guys like the Honey Badger, Patrick Peterson, Eric Reed. LSU's productivity at DB, it just outweighs the Ohio State for me. What do you guys say?
100% LSU is DBU. Like, that's not even close. Like, they've just got the longevity. Like, I get Ohio State's kind of popping right now, but like, you can go back to Pat Pete, Jamal Adams. Like, it's not even. I don't even have to talk about it. Like, that's not that one's a joke. Like, that's not even a question for me. It's definitely LSU by a mile.
And I forgot Tatum, old school Raiders, kind of put Ohio State on the map in the NFL sense of like, oh shit, they can play some defensive back there. But I still think, yeah.
Don't forget Okuda, even though he got hurt last year.
Who?
All right. Jeff Okuda.
I've never heard of her.
Troll.
I don't know.
Wow.
We still got I think the a lot more to be told on that career. We'll see. Definitely like that at Ohio State though. Definitely a problem.
Yeah. All right, that's all the defensive positions I had, or all the positions I had. Unless you guys want to talk about a specific one, I just figured for time's sakes we hit the big ones.
I was gonna say Georgia for running back U.
Georgia for RBU.
Gurley.
Cato's face.
You're joking, right?
I thought that was a good take. Maybe not.
It's Alabama, and it's not even close.
It's gotta be, man.
Really?
Fitz. I'm putting one man on the screen. That's enough.
Come on, man.
Derrick Henry, get out of here.
I mean, give me Mark Ingram. Give me
Mark
Eddie Lacy.
Ingram.
Give me Kenyon Drake.
Eddie.
And we're Josh Jacobs. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Sean Alexander was on the cover of Madden. We're not going to talk about that. He had like 1,000 yards this season. It's definitely Alabama. That's not even close.
He was Bama too. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Bro got like 9,000 all-purpose. Like, no, that's not even close. It's Alabama.
Man, I'm a dumbass.
Georgia,
I'm clipping that.
Georgia's second.
Hey, Georgia also had Herschel Walker. I'm just saying, if you're only allowed 3 running backs, Georgia might have a chance.
Especially if you're the Cowboys and you're Herschel Walker. Like, I think that's his biggest contribution to the league is that trade. But
yeah. Yo, Georgia's not even in ESPN's top 5. Number 2 is Wisconsin.
Man.
Number 3
I will
is
say in college I'll give it to them, but I think not all of their products panned out. I think Gurley did his thing for a little bit. Like he had that one season with the Rams. I think they have a lot more one-hit wonders. No, Sean Marino's rookie year was kind of crazy. He was still hurdling dudes, but I think the Georgia guys, I think Chubb's definitely holding it down for them. But even Sony wasn't what he panned out to be as much as we thought. I think he was a first-round pick, I'm pretty sure. So I'm giving the nod to Alabama, but they live up to the hype and they do it more often than not.
Yeah, I think you're right, Cato. Absolutely. Well, let's move to the NFL here real quick. Training camp updates. And really, I just got 2 teams to talk about. Steelers, Carolina, and you guys can chip in with anything else you got here. Pittsburgh. It's quarterback battle. They're giving it to Mitch right now. He's listed as QB1. But maybe Mason Rudolph can take the job, or rookie Kenny Pickett can come in there. He had a rough week 1. Apparently, reports are week 2. He's heating up. Things are going. Carolina, Sam Bradford. It's supposed to be his team. Sam Darnold, not Bradford. Sam Darnold's supposed to be his team. I know. Baker coming in there. We talked about that trade, and it seems like the fans, media, everybody's behind Baker, and he's making a run for that QB1. Plus the rookie Matt Carroll coming in there, dicing things up, and people really like the rookie out there from Ole Miss. Projections for Week 1 starters. How you guys want to spin this thing? Who would you trust?
For Pittsburgh, doesn't matter. Let's be honest.
Thank you.
I think whoever's getting thrown out there is getting like thrown to the slaughter. All three of these guys are around the same level of talent, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
And they have to play the Bengals twice a year. They're gonna have to play Lamar twice a year. Like, this is going to be brutal, and people forget that like Big Ben led the league in fourth quarter comebacks last year. I'm pretty sure.
I think
and
so.
He had them hanging by a thread. And yeah, he was a shell of himself, obviously, in his prime, but like, he definitely knew the offense like the back of his hand and was definitely making some stuff shake in the fourth quarter. So I literally don't think it even matters for the Steelers. I mean, you might just be better off putting Kenny Pickett out there just to get him those reps and get him going if you think he's the quarterback of the future. But if you're trying to win games, I would definitely go with someone who's been in your system like Mason Rudolph or Mitch Trubisky. But to me, I couldn't care less about this quarterback battle because I don't know if this is a hot take. I think the Steelers are about to have a top 5 draft pick next year.
Yo, that's not crazy until you look at Coach Tomlin's record of like never finishing below 500.
Yeah, he had Big Ben for all of that.
I get it. Trust me.
Because Bill Belichick's record is about to get real nasty too in the next couple of years without Tom. Y'all are about to see. Change of guard now. It's about to get nasty in the NFL. We're getting old, guys. All our quarterbacks from our childhood are retiring.
Kato, you don't have to hit us like that, man.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Okay, we'll see. If Mike Tomlin makes it happen this year, that defense is strong, but the offense, it's just too much about the offense right now. And I think that their quarterback play is gonna the quarterback play. They have the worst quarterback in the division. I mean, the Brown situation is what it is. We don't have to get into that, but that's just not a good sign. How often is the worst quarterback in the division making the playoffs?
Yeah.
I'm a Giants fan. I can tell you it doesn't happen that
often. Hey, I'm here for the Pittsburgh slander. Don't get me wrong. I had to speak up for them for a second. But
I've heard Mason Rudolph is actually not. I mean, you always hear training camp buzz, but I've heard like he's actually turning heads. Like he might actually get the job, which I don't know. I don't know what that means. I agree with Cato. I think he's on similar playing field with who he's competing with, but it's like, who knows the offense best? Probably is Rudolph. So that would make sense. As far as Carolina, I'm hearing a lot about the rookie. Like I think that they should not botch the Carroll situation. Like if they end up like releasing him and he goes to somebody else, that boy could be a star. Like that guy could be like, he could arrive. So yeah, it's just for Carolina. It's just making sure they utilize these experienced guys in Baker and Darnold, but that know they got to cash in on their guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the Baker move. I thought he was a much. I think he's a more talented quarterback than Sam Darnold. I think every couple of years, though, you just need to like give Baker that chip because he really thrives with that chip on his shoulder. So like, I don't know, training camp, you say like it's a quarterback battle or whatever you do. But I think right now we're going to see like the best of Baker. I mean, obviously last year he was playing well, but then he got injured and he was trying to play through the injury. It got kind of ugly. But I mean, I like Baker here. I think he's going to be a good fit. And I like the Panthers, but I hope he gives them some sort of identity because right now they're this weird like amoeba of wanting to. They don't know what they want to do. They don't know if like Christian McCaffrey's the man, but like I don't know. I think Baker will plant his flag right in the center of the field and just start dry humping it. Where was that? Where did he do that?
He did Ohio State.
That's where it was.
I was just about to say I agree with you until you put that last part in. I'm really glad I held my tongue.
Oh man.
But yes, the Panthers have to go with Baker. Obviously, there's going to be a learning curve because he got integrated into the team pretty late. So learning that playbook is going to be tough. But Baker's played a lot of ball, and I think he's shown that he can win in the playoffs at least a little bit. And I think if the Panthers don't want to squander the career that is Christian McCaffrey's away, they have to at least put Baker in the mix. And the division's really a toss-up outside of Tampa. I think the Falcons and the Saints in between the Panthers, it's going to whoever out of those teams can keep it most interesting and get the most wins. And Baker's the best winner in the division, so I think you got to ride with Baker here. And it's the same way with we're talking about the Pittsburgh situation. If you want to waste Najee's career, and it sounds like Pickens is going to be a beast too, go right ahead and throw the worst quarterback out there who you think just needs to make it happen. But if you want these young, talented guys at these skill positions, and it's clear the running back position, you're going to get beat up in the league. Like, those injuries are almost inevitable at this point. Like, if you have a star running back, at least do them a favor and get them in the playoff conversation and put your best quarterback out there. So I think for the Panthers, they got to put Baker out there.
Yeah. I think you're right, dude. Week 1, Cleveland at Carolina. Baker QB1. Tim, he's going to definitely grab the crotch a few times, plant his flag in there. Like, yeah, for sure. I'm here for it.
I'd pay for that if it was a pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah, exactly, yeah. Make it like the old school, I can't remember the claymation, like, death match. You guys remember that show?
Celebrity death match?
Yeah. Oh, man. The other news out of training camp, Justin Tucker becomes the highest paid kicker. He's getting $6 million a year for 4 years, average up to $24 million. Obviously, we look at NFL contracts like Mahomes and what those cats are making, ridiculous amount of money. But hey, specialists, we're here for it. They're finally getting some recognition and finally getting paid. And as much as I hate to admit it, Tucker is probably arguably one of the best kickers in the game right now, behind Shooter McPherson. But
some say best of all time.
Shooter!
JT, man.
Can't stand this guy. This guy still haunts my nightmares. He haunts me. How do you hit a 61-yard field goal? Was it 61 that he beat Detroit with?
I can't.
We had him on the ropes, damn it. And then he just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna make a league record here in Ford Field and just kick a 61 or 66.
64, I think.
Something stupid.
Yeah.
He's when I have nightmares, I see him.
It's 66.
It was the record.
When I have nightmares, I see this guy. I wake up in a cold sweat. Oh my god.
Yeah. Sorry, Tim.
Drives me nuts, man. Thanks for that, Parker. Appreciate it.
I should have put a trigger warning for you.
Trigger. Yeah, thank you. Next time.
I'm sorry about your pain, Tim, but the Ravens definitely had to put that bag on him, though. Like, they had to pay him. He's undoubtedly the best at his position. If you think about the Ravens' play style, like, they're a ground and pound team. They're going to run the ball. Obviously, Lamar's evolving as far as the passer goes, but in the red zone, it gets a little bit shysty. You get to 3rd and long, and it's like, you know what? We can just run the ball and get 3 points right here. And I actually did some digging on this one. Obviously, the Ravens had a lot of injuries last year, but they had 4 overtime games last year.
Yeah.
Your kicker's a big part of that. And then they had 7 games where the score was 3 points or less. They played in a lot of close games last year, and like, your kicker makes a difference in those games, whether you want to believe it or not. And pretty much every winning team has a kicker, and if they want to do it, they're going to have to do it with his leg a little bit too. So I'm definitely supportive of paying him.
You hit the nail on the head. They will win and lose you a game in a heartbeat, and this man has won you more games than not. So, yeah.
Also, like, the first fantasy kicker taken, like, every year. It's always, like, you get in that, like, late round range. It's like, oh, like, when do I start taking the kickers? And then someone always takes Tucker before, and you're like, dang, I could have used that one.
Exactly.
Then he has sorry to bring it up to him. Then he has a week where he has a 66-yard kick, and it's probably like 66 points in some leagues. And then it swings everything. His fingerprints are all over regular football, all over fantasy football. Even on my Madden Ultimate team, I definitely had to grab him too. Like, it's undoubtable. Like, you got to give it to him. It's Vinatieri is that guy.
Yeah. That's a good argument for sure. Listeners, watchers, fantasy football is getting kicked off. We're gonna start our league. Week 4 preseason. So in 2 weeks, we're going to draft. Kaiden, you're involved, baby. We're ready to go. I'm excited to have you. Listeners, watchers, you can still join us. Hit us up on Instagram. Hit us up personally, whatever it takes. And we'll get you in there. You can play against Kaiden and himself and us guys. And we're playing for a good old gold chain here. I don't know if you saw the trophy or not. It's pretty blinged out. It looks pretty fresh. Andrew Price is the winner from last year. He said it sits pretty heavy, but so does the throne, the crown of the king. So
I did not know there was a chain, and like now I'm about to really do some research. Like now I'm locked in. Thomas Hennigan's been running our league for the past 2 years, so I'm kind of fed up. So I'm coming for y'all.
Down for Kaiden. No, I'm just kidding.
Will the chain look good? Do I put it in my trophy or do I put it?
Jesus.
Where do I put the? I'll figure it out later. We'll figure it out later.
I hate you and your pick.
Some hardware on the line. I love it.
Yeah, you got to make it interesting. You got to make it worth it. All right. We've got our pub parlay and a random question. We're going to get out of here. Pub parlay. Let's make some bets here. Matt is going to start us off some footy action. And whatever you guys say, we hit last week. Made some money. Let's go hot. Let's go 2 for 2 here. That's right.
We made it.
Thankfully, I didn't put my bet in, so that's the only reason we made it.
All right. Oh, okay.
But hey, we still made money, though. All right. Matt is going to take the Wolves, Wolverhampton, to get a win this weekend on Saturday. He thinks they'll beat Fulham pretty handily. So Wolverhampton to beat Fulham. That's how we're starting things off.
Okay.
Now, it's up to us to keep it going.
What day is that?
I believe that's Saturday, but I'm double checking right now.
I'm trying to creep into Premier League. Thomas has me as a Everton fan. That's what I support, but
He's definitely won me some money. That's for sure.
Everton's got a tough one with Chelsea coming up. It is Saturday with Wolverhampton playing Leeds United. Sorry, you guys teams mixed up. I don't know. I'm a little worried.
Dang it, Matt. He's so pissed up right now. So Saturday, huh?
Saturday.
I'm taking the Astros over the A's. Enough said. Astros all the way.
Hey, they're hot. The damn Astros is so hot right now.
I'll take Brewers over the Cardinals.
Oh, that's a spicy one.
We talked about that series. I think the Brewers, they're 2 games back. I think they could be the underdog.
Is that in St. Louis or in Milwaukee?
I believe it's in St. Louis.
Okay.
At St. Louis.
Oh, you could take a preseason game if you wanted.
Oh gosh.
I wasn't prepped for this, but give me the Giants over New England.
Oh,
no.
he did it.
Let's go.
In Gillette.
Don't like what I'm hearing out of Patriots camp right now.
Give me that in a heartbeat.
Hey.
Oh, man.
Yo, we might make some big money here because I guarantee the books are definitely on New England. I'm going to go Dortmund. I'm going to stick with some footy action. I'm going to go Dortmund to get the job done in the Bundesliga over in Germany.
Man,
all right, hey.
Also worth
noting, Tyrod Taylor is our backup. Don't know if he'll be playing in the preseason game, but like
some Davis Webb action I'm here for as well. Give me.
Yo, Tyrod Taylor? I'm hammering double down on the Giants there.
He's a vet. He's a vet, so I don't know
That's
if they're
true.
going to give him that nod. But still, Davis Webb out of Cal, give me it.
All right. You sold me. I'm here for it. Let's go. All right. That's it, Pub Parlay. Hopefully we go back-to-back weeks. That'd be big for us. Now it's our random question. We're going to get out of here. Does anybody have a random question for us? Oh, Tim.
I actually have one.
I'm scared.
All right. It's nothing crazy. So for those of you who don't know, so none of you know this, I just got a grill. And I'm trying to get some good recipes, right?
Oh, I thought you meant like the teeth grill.
No. So my question would be, what is your favorite grilling recipe to either make or just to eat?
Yo, that's the oldest question we've ever had in here.
I've picked up in the last couple of years. I've been getting my cooking game up, really coming to my own this year, cooking some stuff. Haven't graduated to the grill yet. At our house in college, Zach Thomas was our griller, so buy a steak, give it to Zach. He'll make it work. So just give me a steak on the grill, man.
All
Medium
right.
rare. I'll take that in a heartbeat.
Okay.
Perfection. Don't overcook it.
I'm gonna say burgers, but I like 2 things on burgers. I either like grilled pineapples or grilled onions. So the grilled pineapple, you just need like a brush brush works really well. You melt your butter. You brush the butter on both sides. You just lay them on there. Get those grill marks. The onions, pretty easy. You can find a bunch of different methods, but essentially, shoot, I forgot how we do them. We look at watch Gordon Ramsay and how he cooks burgers. He has the best way how to cook onions. I don't like the way he grills his burgers, but I love the way he grills his onions. And I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's pretty spot on.
All right. We'll have to YouTube that.
I do love Gordon Ramsay's recipe. That's how I get my chicken wings recipe from. Is Gordon Ramsay. Been known that my wings have been busting, quote unquote, from my seniors I had over for the wrestling team. I cooked out for them, same with burgers. But to me, it's elotes loco. It's crazy Mexican street corn. You put a lot of butter on the corn, you grill it up, then you put some mayo, Worcestershire sauce, mustard, Parmesan cheese. It sounds disgusting, but it's the best thing you could have on corn, and it's the ticket. Claudia introduced it to me, and it's been fun.
That's like that Nacho Libre style, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I never had any. It just looks so good. I'm with it.
Hey, you come through, man. We'll grill it up for you. We'll get you right.
Sounds good.
Tim,
those are all great options. I don't know. I really don't. I think I'm going to start with I don't know. I guess you can't go wrong with burgers as just to get used to the feel of the grill. Mm-hmm. But I feel like if I start with a steak, I'm going to muff it up. So I feel like I got to take a few steps before I get the steak going.
Just get a cheaper steak, throw it on there, experiment.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Check the temps, make sure that I have the dials right and the flow of the propane's okay. Yeah, okay. All right.
Tim, this wasn't a random question. This was just hey, help me grill some shit.
Yeah, no, really, yeah.
Advice.
It's a little overwhelming.
Hey, we're a sports show, we're a betting show, and we're a cooking show. Let's go. We got it all covered here. Kaiden, we can't thank you enough for joining us, dude. Feel free to plug whatever you do here or do whatever you can. But yeah, dude, thank you again for joining us.
Thanks,
man. No problem, guys. I think super thankful for y'all. Obviously, if you're trying to get into some college sports content at all, I recommend going to on3.com. Even high school sports and recruiting, they definitely got it set up there nice. And if you even with stuff like NIL and the transfer portal, they're covering all that stuff, and they definitely have all their bases covered as far as that goes. But appreciate y'all. Obviously, it's the first time I've been on a podcast where I've been a sports journalist, so really appreciate doing a little research, chopping it up with y'all as always, and I'd have me back whenever. I'll always say yes.
Hey, anytime, dude. And we're going up for app for a couple games. Hopefully we'll see you there, and we'll have some fun, man.
For sure. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, dude. All right, listeners, watchers, we'll see you guys next week. And until then, hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff, and come join the Fantasy Football League. We'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Bye.
Have a wonderful time. See ya in a bit. Go well. Get pissed right up.
Wow, you did the whole spiel there. Wow, I think
I have to
reference the 2004 Pistons other than myself. Wow.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hold on.
Thank you, Evan. That
I can't wait.
Well, I don't tie it.
I'm just gonna go out.
I'm a dumbass into here next.
Joey Chestnut has to be on the pub.
Has to be.
Right.
Has to be.
Is Devin ever coming back?
Fitzmagic in September is one of the hottest athletes in the world.
So you want to talk about putting a team on your back?
Is Devin still alive? Does anybody know?
Luka is Larry Bird reincarnated.
Every once in a while, I get a
this
text
man
from
might get it done.
And
He's at football practice. He says
that Jimmy Garoppolo was going to get traded to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Tom Brady was like, nah, you're going to go with that motherfucker? I'm coming back.
10 seconds.
The Asher Roth video is still my favorite.